Welcome, class, to Kitchen 101, where we teach you how to think like a chef, how to cook, not what to cook. Today we'll be discussing what a fresh egg really is. So grab yourself a pen, paper, and a thinking cap, because I'm Professor Kitchen, and class is in session. Many times when you go into your local grocery store egg section, you'll see labels that say things like farm fresh. I've always assumed that label was just some marketing hype that packaging was allowed to have on it to try and convince customers that their eggs were just as good as what Farmer Joe down the road had for sale. Well, in a way it is, and in a way it isn't. It really all hinges on the definition of fresh. According to Merriam-Webster.com, the word fresh has several meanings. Most of us normally think of the word fresh as meaning new, like in the phrase, a fresh start. However, this meaning is actually third on their list of definitions. The primary usage of fresh is more along the lines of not changed from its original form, untainted. This definition is typically how fresh is used when referring not just to eggs, but to any food. For instance, when talking about fresh vegetables, we mean veggies that are unaltered from the plant, i.e. they're not frozen or chopped or messed with at all. Also in that meaning is the concept of not gone bad. You might think to yourself, I like a salad. I bought some fresh veggies the other day. I'm going to use that. Only to find that the lettuce has started to turn. We no longer consider it to be fresh, but rotten. On that definition is where the term fresh comes into play for eggs. Fresh doesn't necessarily mean newly from a chicken, but rather not degraded. You see, bird eggs have a very remarkable property when it comes to temperature. Like all animal products, eggs keep very well in the refrigerator. Unlike other animal products, the amount of time you can keep eggs under refrigeration is, comparatively, very long. While meat will still go bad within a week or so if left uncooked in the refrigerator, eggs can last a month and still be considered fresh. In fact, an egg left at room temperature will age more in 24 hours than an egg under refrigeration will age in 1 full week. Not kidding here. Why do eggs do so well in cold environments? It comes down to a lack of oxygen. You see, eggs don't naturally have a lot of airspace inside of them. What air is there is segregated from the sensitive bits by a membrane. If an egg gets fertilized, then the developing chick will eventually need air. However, if that air reaches the pre-chick bits before it becomes chick bits, then bad things can happen and the chick bits won't fit. When the egg is left in a colder environment, like an icebox, then the chemical reactions that cause the degrading of the egg slow down even more. If you remember your high school chemistry, heat is often used as a catalyst to speed up chemical reactions. Contrary-wise, cold can slow down many chemical reactions. Okay, so what does all this test tube talk mean for you and your cooking? Well, it means that if you take 2 eggs laid on the same day and put one in the refrigerator and leave the other on the counter, they'll age at different rates. By day 3, the albumin in the one on the counter will already have broken down quite a bit. It'll be good for things like a scramble, but not good for things like poaching. However, the one in the chill chest won't have broken down hardly at all. It'll still be good for many applications. The irony of this is that if you get your eggs from a local farmer that doesn't refrigerate them, then your eggs might not be as fresh as the ones down at your local grocery store from a corporate egg factory. Despite the fact that the local eggs were only laid a day or so ago, and the grocery store eggs were laid a week ago. And that way the marketing hype of farm fresh is accurate. While they may not be new eggs, they are still fresh. Unfortunately, that marketing hype doesn't always translate into reality. Despite the label, you can still get grocery eggs that have started to degrade. That means that they either have been mishandled or are pretty old. How can you help ensure that you have the freshest eggs possible? First, always refrigerate your eggs as soon as possible. Don't leave them on the counter while you feed the dog, take a bath, do your jumping jacks, watch your shows, or whatever it is you like to do after shopping. Keep them in the right environment as long as possible. Second, always buy from a reputable source. There's nothing wrong with getting your eggs from a local farmer. Just make sure you get them as newly out of the chicken as you can and stick them in a chill chest as soon as you can. If you get your eggs from a grocer, then test the brands there to see which ones give you the freshest eggs. A lot of us fall for the "I'm not paying that much for eggs" trap. I'm not saying to buy the most expensive brand, but don't default to the least expensive either. Test some of the brands that aren't on the extremes of the price scale. I think you'll find a happy medium. Third, don't overbuy. Remember that if a store is having a sale on anything perishable, it typically means that they have an abundance of it sitting around and need to move it before they have to throw it away. If you only eat 1 egg per day on average, then a dozen eggs will last you nearly 2 weeks. Just because there's a sale doesn't mean it's a good deal to buy 5 dozen eggs that's going to go bad on you. Fourth, if you've got some eggs that are starting to break down too much, boil them. Eggs that aren't as fresh work better for boiled eggs because that membrane that protects the pre-chick bits has broken down a lot and will let you peel the egg a lot easier. Eggs are a great nutritional source, but make sure you maintain them properly. A fresh egg is a tasty egg that performs well in nearly all applications. Do you have any tips for keeping eggs? Let everyone know down in the comment section below. Thank you for coming today. Hope you have a great week. God bless. Class dismissed.